All right. We are about to start Trijam number 334. This is a 3-hour game jam. I'm going to break this up into 3 separate hours, most likely. So I have a 55-minute timer up here. That's to let me know when I need to wrap up. And so I'll get this started in a second. So the way Trijam works is you kind of can prepare a lot of material in advance. So I wrote a pretty big design doc here with a lot of notes on implementation and just how everything's going to work and all that stuff. And yeah, so the theme is world's worst superpowers. And so the idea I had for this is to make a Zelda-like game where the protagonist is bionically enhanced by Acme-Co, and the enhancements just suck. So the worst one is that he's navigationally challenged. So if you have a Zelda-style dungeon, what happens is in the very first room, you're going to get the power-up that allows you to sense doors. So the door sensing will show you doors, but only doors that will transport you 3 screens at once. And then basically you will move around the dungeon. You will eventually unlock a power-up that allows you to see doors that transport you 2 screens at a time. And then you'll eventually be able to find the one that unlocks 1 screen at a time. And from there, there's going to be a few other items, keeping with the Zelda/Metroidvania theme of getting traversal items that allow you to overcome obstacles. So one of them is going to be like either ridiculously tiny bombs, bombs, not blobs, or ridiculously tiny blaster cannon that basically fires an explosion that won't even hurt an enemy, but it'll eventually blow up walls that can be blown up. You'll also be able to find the 2 springy shoes, which will allow you to jump over pits, but you will continue jumping nonstop until you hit the wall. So you'll have to plan your movement carefully so that you don't go careening into spikes or off into some other kind of larger pit, stuff like that. I think that this one, this single-use gloves is likely to be cut because its scope is pretty high. And then there's going to be friendly creature phasing. So there's going to be some friendly creatures. When you touch them, you'll get like a buff, probably movement speed for 30 seconds or so. But later on, you can phase through friendly creatures. You can phase through creatures, but only the friendly ones, and no longer receive their buffs. But you can walk through them. So we'll use this as a type of wall, and eventually you'll unlock the ability to basically pass through that wall, but you lose the buff. So your bad superpowers is basically you've been bionically enhanced, but it's by Acme-Co. And that's basically like getting the Tesla brain chip installed. You know, you're just getting this low quality piece of junk, and everything's going to go wrong after that. So we'll see what we can get to for some of these other items. I think right now the scope is probably too high, and most of this stuff is going to get cut, at least from the Game Jam version. I'll probably have coin pickups. I don't know if we'll need keys. I don't know if we'll have pieces of heart because I actually don't even know if we're going to have damage or death or anything like that. It depends on whether I even add hostile enemies. So we'll see from there. There's a lot to do. I guess let's go ahead and get started. So the rules of this is basically like you get 3 hours, and it's basically for coding and assets. But writing design doc, compiling the game, making your itch.io page, making your GitHub repo, none of that stuff counts. in the 3-hour requirement. So let's go ahead and make the repo. I did ask on Discord, and you can use an existing template. So I'm going to use my typical template that I make for different games. Navigationally challenged. That'll be our working name for now. And I mean, we'll make it public. Why not? We don't need all branches. Okay, so we'll create that. And once I clone this, I'm going to strip out all of the, like, anything that could be construed as gameplay. Okay, so git clone, navigationally challenged. And in here, we can delete the gameplay folder. We can delete all these guys. When we get into the code, I'll edit this to be empty. And I think that's largely all the gameplay stuff. All right. So let's boot it up. I think I will adjust my editor scaling real quick. Oh, no, it's already at 100. Okay. That's fine. We'll get this positioned. And we will start the timer here in a second. I'm nervous. I feel like this is a speed run because I haven't been doing a ton of game dev recently. And we'll just have to make sure that my skills are good enough. Cool. Oh, I can delete all this as well. All right, let's start the timer. All right, first thing, oh my God. First thing, we're going to clear this enum file out. We don't need any of these enums. We'll make sure it builds. And we can get to the gameplay scene. Cool. All right. Let's name it Navigationally Challenged. And we got a few things to do right off the top. So project setup. Let's see. Got to go down to the renderer. Where am I looking here? Textures. Nearest. Okay, that's already set. Cool. Screen size. We're going to need 792 by 624, which is it's basically double the tile size, so all the sprites will be 2x scaled. And then we will do, let's see. Might have to do them layers, 2D physics. Okay, so we'll set up our collision layers. Inv wall, inv chasm, player proj for projectile, enemy proj, friendly, and I think that is all for now. All right. Something has gone wrong here, and I don't see my gameplay CRT in this folder. It should be here. I'm going to pause this real quick. Okay, so I had to pull it off of my laptop because this CRT thing, a guy on Reddit released a cool CRT shader that has luminance preservation, and I was messing with it on my laptop, but I think I forgot to commit it to the repository there. So we will open gameplay CRT, and then we will also set that as the we'll set that as the default for now, just because. Whoa, did you not do it? Are you scared? Hang on. Is it open? Okay, the CRT filter is there and it's on. That's real weird though. Let's just do this. Okay, get that timer going again. There we go. Okay, just needed to reload. Classic. All right, slap a node 2D in here. We'll call that world. We will save this as a scene in gameplay world. Okay. And now we had our layer set up. Okay, so the sub viewport. Yeah, 408 by 312. That should be 17 by 13 pixels. We got to go in here, set our grid step 12 by 12 because we want half tiles. So these are 24 by, 24 by 24 sprites. Let's see, 34 times 24. Wait, 34 steps. I guess it's just truncating the, yeah, okay. So that is correct. We will show our grid. Cool. And now, what do we need? We're going to need a camera. We're going to need a TileMap player. Probably 2 of those. One for the ground tiles and another for the wall tiles. And let's grab some assets. Okay, so we're going to need several things here. We're going to need, let's see, sprites and tile sets. Oryx. We're going to grab Oryx and slap that in here. And we are also going to grab a couple music tracks. Let's see. I'm not going to turn them on yet. We're going to grab menu. These are some tracks from another game that I have. It's a work in progress. But these are kind of like Metroidvania tracks. I think they would just be cool here. They sound good. So grab Oryx. We don't need that folder. And we can run the re-import on all that stuff. And then we will go to our tileset config and grab in our assets. I might need to restart Godot again. It's lagging out real bad right now. Goodness. What are we doing? Hope the lag goes away. That'll be quite a handicap. Okay, so we've got our tile set selected. Tile set. Okay, we need to drag in our Oryx. Yeah, we are still lagging quite badly. All right, what are these ones? I want the transparent tiles. Actually, before I add them, I need to set this to 24 by 24. Then drag these in. Auto create tiles, yes. We will bigify this. Cool. All right, so now let's see. We're going to need a physics layer for walls. Another one for chasms. And, let's see. Do we need anything else? We'll need a custom data. Well, let me think. Okay, so we need to do. So we got chasm tiles. Ooze tiles, I think these will just be nodes. WarpTiles. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking maybe nodes. I think they could be done with like custom data layers, basically, and like do some stuff like that. But I think we're just going to try and do the simplest thing, which is just make them nodes on their own. So we'll basically just have our physics layers for walls and chasms. And I'm not going to worry about the chasms right now because like that whole feature could get scrapped if we run low on time. Okay, so our camera needs to be configured. Let's see. Let me try launching it and just see what we got here. Cool. Okay, that's what I expect. All right, so let's call this wall and floor. I think maybe those are backwards in the layer order. That's fine. But now we will go into the tile set and we will paint some collisions. So physics layer 0 is walls. So we will paint up a bunch of these walls. We're just going to go down. I don't know which ones of these I'll even use for the map. So we'll just figure it out when we get there. All those. Do we need? So I'm only going to use these like square self-contained ones because I don't want to set up all the freaking borders and all that stuff. That'll just take too long. We probably don't need most of these props. I think they just we'll do these, and then in case we want to use them just to like make the rooms look different or something like that. I mean, why not? Let's just color these in. We'll use them if we need to. All these pots. Treasure chests will be like their own thing if we use them. I don't really think we're going to use any trees or anything. I'll grab these guys just in case because there will be like an outdoor segment kind of when you beat the game, I guess. Okay, anything else that we need here? I think basically no. And then we can go to physics layer 1 and we can do chasms real quick. So we'll use these guys as chasms. And is there any kind of like blue hole type thing or red lava typey hole? Not really. That's fine. So just these black pits, those will be the chasms. And then everything else can just be floor tiles. Okay, so now let's paint a room. So something doesn't look quite right to my eyes here. Let me double check my grid settings. 34 by 22. Let's do some calculations. 12 times 34 is 408. 12 times 22 is 264. And then let's go look at our sub viewport. 312 minus 48, 264. Okay, 264 plus 48. We're basically reserving 2 tiles at the top for like UI. So let's just throw a label in here. 16 hearts, bombs, whatever. And we'll just have that up there. And then I think we can do a room, and I think it'll be this section here. So, oh yeah, I can use shift to paint lines. Okay, so this will be a room. And now we're going to need a character body 2D. We'll name this player. He'll need a collision shape. We're going to give it a little circle, maybe 6, just a little one. I like to be very nice to my player and give them a tiny hitbox so that if enemies are hitting them, oh gosh, okay, we got to figure out the frames here. So this is a 480 by 640. So 480 divided by 24, 648 divided by 24, 20 by 27. All right, let's pop this up to like 20. All right, there's like a specific guy that I want to use. There's my tiny theory crafter guy. Maybe this one. And I grabbed the wrong texture. I need the transparent ones. So do that. Okay, and our frame is set. And then 83. Let me look at that asset because, whoops, that ain't it. Creatures. Pull this over. Okay, so we need to go down whatever the width is. Okay, so we're going to add a script to this guy, player, and anim frames equals 83, right? And then 83 plus 20. Huh? Weird. Did I skip it? 83. Oh, let's see. How about 83 minus 20? Aha. Okay, so it's 63 and 83. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Get a process function. Animac equals 0.1. I don't know. Like, change the frame every 100 milliseconds. Animac minus equals delta. If less than 0, what is it? Frame? It would be sprite dot frame equals. Oh yeah, we need a current frame. Oh, actually, let's just do a conditional. It's easier. Frame equals 63. We'll make it slightly extensible. Frames 1, else anim frames 0. Okay, cool. So that should be a little wiggly boy. Let's check. I can't see that. That's very tiny. Is he actually moving? Oh, he's moving turbo quick. Oh, because we didn't actually equal 0.1 again. There we go. He's bouncing. We'll slow that down a little bit. Okay, and now we need to do our input loop. So I already know from my design that I'm going to have to lock the movement. So we'll do movement locked, float equals 0. If we're not movement locked, then we can do all this stuff. So input dir is going to be input.getVector. And now I think in my template, I should have the new inputs set up. Yeah, move up, down, left, right. Cool. So negative x is going to be move left. Positive x is going to be move right. Negative y is going to be move up. Positive y is going to be move down. All right. So we take our input dir. We'll do like some speed value. That probably should be a constant, but whatever. We're trying to go quick here. Okay, so input dir. I'm going to normalize it down here because sometimes you need to do some stuff with input vir. And then our velocity can equal our speed times our input. And we can do the old move and slide. And let's see. If input dir, let's see, if sine of input dir x equals 1, then, wait, What is sine? Okay. If it's -1, then we do sprite2d.flip h equal true. Actually, we can simplify this all by being sine input dir x equals -1. Okay. All right, let's see if we can move. We can. And our flip logic needs to be inverted, so this becomes a +1. I was thinking these were facing right by default, but they are not. Cool. Yeah, he turns back when you stop moving, but whatever. We just got to go with it for now. Okay, so now let's set up some camera logic. Okay, the camera's got to do a bunch of stuff. So what are these notes? So we're going to need a process function, and we're going to have to... Okay, what do we need to do to the camera first? We need to set, so I'm going to do top left. That makes the math just a little simpler. Zoom, I think, can stay, or maybe change to 2. I don't know. We want position smoothing. We'll crank that up a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is the camera's going to snap to the player's position, but offset by half the width and height of the screen. So half screen equals vector 2, 408, 312, right? 312. Okay. 312 divided by 2. I mean, let's just move this out here. That way we don't compute it every frame. Doesn't matter that much, but this is why it sucks to like be an experienced programmer. You just want to make these little things, but the goal here is to go fast. Okay, so we got our half screen. Oh yeah, we got to get our player. So export var player. We'll make that a character body 2D. Save, and now once I solve this, so player pos equals, all right, let's grab this guy. Player dot global position, right? Yeah. And we want to take off that half screen value, and then we do that snapped player pos x by the 408. And then y equals player pos y by the 312. Before we go any farther, let's go to the freaking constants and do screen width equals 408, var screen height equals 312, and var HUD offset equals 24 times 2, 48. Okay, and global dot, wait, it's constants dot screen width. Another experienced programmer moment here, but if we mess any of these values up, you know, we might have to change them later. And this can be height. So it's better to just go ahead and use this, I think, here. Okay, so now we can set our global position equal to that vector, I think. And this will snap it to basically the screen bounds around the player, maybe. Okay, funny. Hey, cool. Wow, it works. That's crazy. Okay, that's great. That's great. I thought something about this was incorrect, but it is good. Okay, so now we will go back to our world scene. We grab our player, move him up here, and then paint some more rooms, just some test rooms here. So grab our wall. Let's do a little grassy room over here. Whoops, I'm not using shift. should be, give it a couple doors down, and we will make a follow-up grassy room. So we got to double the walls here because basically this wall is not included in the screen for this room. So basically each wall's basically got to be double thick. Caveat, I've like done a Zelda type clone before because I learned Godot way back using Fornclake's tutorials, which I think are still on the old YouTube. And I would highly recommend those. If you're interested in learning Godot and you don't know it yet, check out Fornclake's tutorials. Makes it really easy to learn like a bunch of different Zelda mechanics with ease. So do this. We just want enough rooms to kind of test most of the functionality. So boot that up. Whoops, I think I saw an extra wall here. Yeah, okay. Now let's have a quick run around. Cool. Very cool. These, I might have something wrong. I need to include the head offset, perhaps, HUD offset. But we'll figure all that out a little bit later. Okay, so what do we got? We've done 29 minutes of work so far. Or sorry, 24 minutes of work so far. And we've got a character running around. Let's do the warp tiles. So this is like very key to the gameplay. So we'll call WarpTile, and this will be a, this should be faster, honestly. Area 2D. And we will give it a script. Does it need a script? It does need a script, yeah. Okay, so we need a collision shape. And we also need a sprite. And our collision shape can just be like a very, very tiny circle, like maybe 4. Let's look. And then our sprite is going to be, okay, I got to go find the graphics here. So we know that's going to be world. We'll do medium icons. And did I close? I did. I should just leave this open. World trans. Okay, so I want these to be teleporters because I was kind of like sketching out the map on a piece of paper, and I was using like the color green and red and blue to represent teleporting a certain amount of screens. Okay, so go in, sliced. So these are like near the bottom. How many is this? 220. Wait, 2,250 tiles. Okay, so we'll scroll. Oh, well, there's some of them. So that is these tiles here. So we just got to go up a little bit more. Where are they at? Hey, okay. 18, 31, 32. And 74, 75. Okay. So we're going to do a directional map. And that'll be a dictionary. And we'll do like vector2. And then preload each of those textures. Because we need... holy moly. Okay, what did I say? 75 or something? Yeah, so the one that goes left, it's not that one. It's this one. All right. And vector2 dot up, preload. Well, we'll do down since it's right here. That's 31. Do right and up. And those will be So right will be 75, 775, and then up will be 774. Cool. Okay, so we got a directional map. Did I close the paren? I did. Okay. And I also want this to be a tool script. And we need, let's see, I wrote some notes on this. Export enum with all the permutate. Okay, yeah. So this will be like left 1, left 2, left 3, right 1, right 2. And these represent what direction we're traveling and then how many screens we will warp to. And so I will, like, at runtime just bust this string and get out the components down and to. And this will be var kind string. Okay. So now our warp tile has a kind. Cool. And we'll leave it blank. So the reason we wanted this to be a tool was because we are going to figure out the sprite, like, so we're going to get teleport destination, and this will return like an array of some values. So okay, so this will return like a tuple or something like that. And so we need, what do we need? We're going to need to get the direction. So dir equals a vector 2, and distance, we'll just make that 0 and we'll pluck it out. And then we'll do if kind begins with left. Then the dir equals vector 2 left. This is very ghetto. And the distance equals kind index 4. So very conveniently, these are just one character because we can only teleport like up to 3 screens. So we'll just take the 5th position in the string and we'll treat that as the distance. Okay. Else, if it begins with right, then the dir equals vector 2 dot right, and the dist equals kind 5. Okay. And I will copy and paste this 2 more times, and we will do up, up, 3, down, down, 4. Built-in type cannot be used same name as a name on its own. Direction? Okay. I thought dir is fine, but maybe it's like directory or something. Oh. This should be a colon. We're just setting the type. We're not actually declaring the thing. Okay, so now our teleport location, our teleport destination is going to be our direction times our distance times vector 2 of screen, constants, screen width, constants, screen height. You know, we're probably going to use that vector a lot. Screen size equals vector 2. Can't use locals. Cool. So we'll just do that. Where was I? Times constants dot screen size. And so, okay, so let's look at this tile. Let me set the kind. Oh, we got to wire up the dir map thing. Let's see, sprite2d.texture equals dir map. Oh yeah, we got to like return some values, don't we? Dir dist teleport dest. return our little tuple, and then the first one will be the dir, so we can do this. And let's go look at that. Let me close the scene and reopen it. Sometimes. We got errors. 32:15. Okay, line 32. That's not super surprising. 15. Oh, this is a string. Okay. We need to cast this as an int. Of course, yeah, it's a string because we're just plucking out the actual raw character from the string. So, yeah, we need to cast that bad boy as an int. And then we'll close the scene and reopen it. Sometimes the tool scripts, like, I don't know, maybe there's like another way, but I have a lot of trouble with them like not live updating very well. Something is still weird here. What is it? Okay, clear you. Property or key. Screen size. Did we not? Screen size. Constants dot screen size. Constants is enabled. Well, let's just go back to the other thing real quick. Constants. Because I don't have time to debug what in the heck it is talking about right here. Screen height. Yo. It's crazy, dog. So why can I not access it here, but I could access it over here just fine? Oh, I bet it's because it's a tool script and constants isn't loaded. Well, unfortunately. So we'll add a comment. So if I find in files, I can still find this, but we'll just use the raw values and see if this produces a better result. Invalid access to property or key 0. Let's try changing this. And let's see, what is line 15? Can I get a breakpoint? I guess not. Let's print our result. Okay. Oh, dirmap 0. Oh, I'm supposed to be using the index 0 of result here. We are just trying to look up element 0 in this dictionary, which doesn't exist. Okay, left. Okay, so that's facing left. That's correct. It's facing right. Up is whack. Down. Okay, so we got a little like, oh yeah, this should be 2. That's fine. And up, down, left, right. Okay, and we're going to do a modulate. So if, how do I make this less gross? Let's see. That and kind of want this to be like red but not hideous. It's going to suck a little bit because we are modulating like something with color. I don't think I'm going to preload the other textures. We'll just do a little modulate trick here. Sprite2d.modulate equals color dot red. Let's see. If result. Oh, you know what? Let's just do color map. Color map color.red. Oh wait, I don't want it on the vector, or on the, yeah, not on the vector. I want it on the distance. So this will be 1, this will be the color red. Or maybe 1 can be, well, I kind of want to use the same things that I used in the paper map. So yeah, 1 will be red, and then we got to figure out another color for, let's see, green will be 3. And so we'll kind of get a green like that. So that's like kind of a limey green. Okay, so 3, 2, this will be white, the default. And this will be like lime green. We'll see how that looks. So this will be color map result 1, which is the distance. And we'll see what that looks like. And we are complaining again. And maybe this should just be, I'm going to close the scene and reopen it just to make sure we're not getting any goofiness. Okay. Modulate, color map, result 1. Let's get our output back up. Yeah, we are flogging that console. Line 16. Oh, and we want to remove our modulate that we have here. Cool. Okay, I think that's good enough. All right, we might have some warp tiles here. There was one more thing I was thinking we need to do, which is probably add a little offset so that when you teleport, if we look at this, when the player enters here, we don't want them to jump to the next tile because there will be like a matching reverse tile for this. We don't want them to jump to the next tile and land on the same spot. We want them to kind of land over here so that they don't hit the collider again. And I'm actually going to make this collider even smaller, 2 pixels. And we will do like a little offset in the direction. And this will be like times whatever our little offset is going to be. So I'm just going to slap like, let's see, a tile's 24 by 24. We'll do like 16 by 16 in there. Vector 2. And we'll see how that works. Okay, so now let's just check our output for our directions and make sure that they look good. So left, so this would be 408 units to the left. Clear that. 424 units to the right. Negative 424. Okay, that's right. Up 328. Up to 640. I think that's right. 952. Down. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. Okay, so we're going to clear that. I guess we'll do left 1 by default. And I think our warp tile is good to be tested. Okay, so let's get over here, add a warp tile. We need to move this guy here, and this will just be like a left 1. Let's go down here and do a left 1. We will make this a right 1 and move this guy over here, there. Right, so you go through this and you wind up like over here, and then you go back through and you wind up over there. Okay, and let's do another room up here. We'll just do a little small room. Sure, that wound up more stylish than I intended. And then we will clone this guy again, move him up. What are these hotkeys? W and Q. Okay, QWERTY. All right, and this will be a down one. And clone him again, and this will be a up one. And to make it easy to walk, we will just punch a hole in this wall so we can kind of go around that. Okay, let's see what happens when we walk on some warp tiles. Nothing. Okay, that was good. All right, perfect. It's our collisions. Okay, so we need, oh yeah, we're going to need a handler for when the player hits this, I do believe. So, actually, we'll probably do it, yeah, because this is an area 2D, so we'll do it right here. And this will be a body, because the player is a body. All right. Let's give our player a class name so we can refer to him specifically, because we don't want to check, we're going to check basically if body is character body 2D, but we don't want to check that because what if it's a monster, you know, and now we've got monsters like teleporting screens or something. I don't know if we're going to have that because I don't know if we're going to have monsters. Let me just log all this stuff out when we hit it. 1 result 2 and the body's global position will get let's see, it would be result 2 because that is this part of the tuple. And yeah, okay. That last little bit, lock the player's movement for a little bit. So we'll do body.movement locked equals, I don't know, 150 milliseconds times the distance. Try that out. All right, is this going to work or do we need to modify? Let's check our collision layers. Player. Okay, and we'll go to our player as well. Where's our player scene? Oh, we haven't saved him as a scene. Player scene. Okay, let's open that up. Click our player, check his layers. So we want him to be on layer 3. He's going to sense stuff on a bunch of layers. We'll figure this out because we got to do hurtbox and stuff later too, potentially. So players on layer 3, our WarpTile is going to scan on layer 3. Let's see what happens now. Oh, our thing on our camera reset. Same player, guys. Just he's just a scene now. He's just an important scene. Okay, so we'll go down. Oh my God. I'm like frozen because movement lock isn't being decremented, I think. Okay. Movement locked minus equal delta. That's fine. It'll go like into some crazy negative values. Whatevs. Okay. Walk down here, walk up. Our movement is unlocked. There's something wrong with our camera and our HUD stuff. We'll have to get that sorted. Whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh! That's crazy. Okay. So our little offset is like incorrect, I think. Let me look at this logic again. So we're adding our vector 16 by 16. Let me just crank this up to a whole tile and see. Neat. Okay. Thinking about it. Oh, how big is our player collision shape? 6? Not very big. Okay. And we'll double check our warp tile. 2. Okay. I'm just going to crank this up a little bit more and see if the problem goes away or not. I just want to know exactly what we're dealing with problem-wise here. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so if I stop moving, let's put our warp offset into a temporary variable, and I think I'm going to break point here. Except that we have this running all the time. Ready. Set up sprite. We'll move all this logic into there. Is editor hint? Yeah. Why doesn't it autocomplete that? I don't know. Oh, because I got, well, this is spelled wrong for one thing, and I've got this up here. So this will be setup sprite, and then this will be setup sprite. So basically, if we're in the editor, it'll set up the sprite on process. At runtime, it should only set up the sprite the one time when it's like created. Okay. So we're still experiencing the bug, right? Yeah, okay. We need to add the breakpoint here. Okay, that was looping through all of them at startup to run the once time setup thing. Okay, so now we walk in, and we are moving to the right, so our x is +1. That's correct. Our warp offset should be 32. We'll step once, and our teleport destination will be 440. And let's go back to our world scene. Is there a measuring tool? Yeah. What is this distance? 432. Wow, so our like teleport dest is not. So let's do edge to edge. This is 408, which is correct. That's our constant. Yep. Oh, we actually need to move like 2 full tiles. Okay, so I think if we just crank this up to, so let's see, we'll make it 48 plus another 8. 56, 56. And let's try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swap where these breakpoints are. So now that's 464. I'm going to take the breakpoint off. Is our movement actually getting locked? I think it is. Let's see if this one's broken. That might be broken, but with the camera offset problem, I might remove this HUD offset thing entirely. We'll have to see. I might think about that during the break and remove the HUD offset and just not mess with that. Because I don't know if I'm going to have time for the mini map. Let's crank this up to 400 milliseconds per screen. Oh yeah, I feel the stoppage. Yep. Okay. So that's probably good. Remarkably, our camera, I remember setting our camera speed, doubling it, because it starts at 5, I think. That seems like a good value, honestly. I think that's fine. Okay, better do a commit real quick. CD navigationally challenged. Oh, we're horking right now. I'm pausing. Ugh. You can do it. It's only, I don't know, 4,000 binary files or so, or more than that. I don't know. It's a lot. Initial commit, removing removing gameplay stuff from template, adding all assets for this game, initial code for world camera movement. Let's see. Player movement WarpTiles. Okay, on pause. We'll push that real quick. Just got to have a little checkpoint. All right, next thing we're going to do is when the camera changes, we will emit a signal, room changed, room X, room Y. Equals X divided by screen width, where room Y equals Y divided by constants screen height. And we will do that, and we'll emit signal, room changed, room X, room Y. Okay. So, this is bad practice, and YOLO, who cares? Export, var, camera 2D. These guys have references to each other. Who cares? Normally a bad practice, but it's a game jam. So we will do camera, what is it? Connect, room changed, on room changed, room X, room Y, on room changed. Without that, I think. With that. Okay. Print room changed, prints room X, room Y. Let's see what that gets us. Our console is being obliterated by log spam right now. Let's fix that. So we don't need this for sure. We probably won't need that again, but you never know. Room changed. Oh, it's just emitting all the time. Okay, so we need to do that only if, let's see. Last room equals vector 2. If okay, so we've got 5 more minutes until the first hour's done. So we're just going to get this functional. Cool. Okay. Now I think when we do the actual rooms, like we might bump these up so they start at 1-1 for the first room or something like that. I don't know. Okay. Oh, we need to test one more thing with these room tiles. We should do, Let me add a little bit more room. We will do up here. And grab a warp tile. Where you at, WarpTile? And you are going to be a left 2. Yeah, and then we will do, what am I doing? We're going to clear this one, clone this guy, move him over, and make him a right 2. And let's just clean up these walls real quick, because I wonder if there's a way to like picker these guys. I'm going to need that at some point. So we'll just close this, and we will open up a walkway that way. Okay, so now we can just test. Yeah, let's throw this here. And this here, and clear these walls. Okay, now we won't accidentally like wander into these transitions when we are not supposed to. Well, that camera speed is actually super fast. We might want to slow that down and increase the movement lock just a hair. Doesn't really feel like we're getting movement locked vertically, but that could just be due to the camera problems. So, cool. Okay, so our left and rights work fine. Our verts are a little weird right now. I got to think about this camera problem. I think we'll just take the HUD offset off, which is actually easy to do. Can I do it in a minute 35? Maybe. $792 divided by 2, $396. 624 divided by 2, $312. Wait, $792. This should be higher. 396. Let's see, 408 times 2, 816. I wonder if we were like stretched or scaled a little weird. Hard to know. Okay, bump back to our sub viewport. What if we just took this down by 48? 264. And then find in files 312. 264. 264. 264. See what we get here. Cool. We're a little skewed now. So this needs to be 264 times 2, 528. All right. That looks square. These guys look square-ish. I mean, maybe it's a little squished, but whatever. Yeah, that feels way nicer. Okay. All right. I think that's it for the first session. So we will pause it right here. All right. We are back with hour number 2. And we are going to commit Just make sure we have a nice little backup in case anything goes wrong. And I think we are almost ready to get started, but I'll just tell you some of the things I did during the break here. So I was just doing a little bit more noodling on what we'll do in the second hour. So this is kind of what we got done in the first hour. And here is the second hour. I also noticed that my OBS is using my start bar cropped. So I'm going to turn that off. There we go. Now you can see the start bar. So we're going to do a little preliminary work for the unlocks because we're going to have unlocks for a bunch of different things. One, we're not going to see all of the doors by default. You're only going to start by seeing the doors that take you 3 screens. And then you'll get an unlock that allows you to see doors that do 2 screens, and then another unlock that allows you to see the doors that will transport you 1 screen. I also think that I have an off by 1 issue in my teleporters. So the red teleporter, which will be the default exit between rooms, that is supposed to be just 1 room. So it just takes you to the next room, just like if there was no tile there at all. But we're going to make them tiles because we need to show and hide them based on whether you have the unlock or not. So we'll need to change that. We'll also have to add all of the warp tiles into groups so that we can easily do that changeover. And we've got a little bit of work to do on the player sprite. We got to add a shadow to it, which I forgot initially, but that'll be important when we get the jumping boots to just give a little continuity to how the jump works. And then we created that room changed event or signal, but I don't think we're doing anything intelligent with it right now. We're just logging. But we need to track the player's position when they enter the room. That way, if they fall in a pit or something, we can teleport them back to that entry position. So we'll just do that as part of that room changed event. And then we'll just go down the list. So the plan is to first add support for pickups, and that'll be like the unlocks and stuff. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. I'm just going to get it so you can pick up a thing, and it marks that pickup as being gotten in the global state. And then we're just going to go right into the BombTiles, and then the power up for the bombs, the boots, and the ChasmTiles, and the ooze tiles. And this should actually have the power up for the ooze here. Yeah. We'll move that up. Power up. Friendly creature phasing. And then after that, and I think all of these things will probably easily take this hour. I would be shocked if I got through all of it in the hour. But then after that, it'll be on to fixing up the UI, adding the labels with the text that appears when you get a power up. And then I think the first stretch goal would be the minimap. Actually, we'll move the audio above that stuff. And then the second stretch goal would be some enemies, just to be annoying, and then a sword attack as well. I really am beginning to think that this will not make it into the final product. So I just think there's too much to do, and I'm more concerned. The core of this game is kind of that Zelda/Metroidvania exploration of this goofy dungeon with those negative power-ups that you have. So negative kiss curse, negative positive power-ups. So all right, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off the timer. You can see here we're starting with 20 seconds used up because we bled over on that fixing the camera issue in the first hour. So let's go. All right, so we'll go to global straight off the bat. And this has a bunch of stuff for like the game template. I don't really care about this. Unlocks. So unlocks equals, so let's see. Door 1, false. Door 2, false. Door 3, false. Bomb, false. Boots, false. Creature phaser, false. Phasing, whoops. Man, if I could type, this whole thing would just be going way more smoothly. And I think that's all for now. Oh, yeah. Whoops. We need to wrap them in quotes. Just like JSON and not JS objects. There we go. Okay, so we have those unlocks. And now, on the room change, let's handle that real quick. Room starting pause, 2 equals our global position right now. And let's do if input button just pressed, let's see. Just press action, just pressed. Action primary. We got to go in and configure that. Okay, so we got WASD, and we'll probably do like JKL. So this will be J. And we'll also do K, L. I don't think that we will need any other actions. If this is just pressed, let's just move our global position back to our starting position just to test that that's working. Cool. Now let's try it with a warper. Oh, interesting. Okay, I think that our offset can be a little bit less on the teleport now, since we've solved some of those other issues. So warp offset, let's just go for 48, see how that feels. Cool. Okay, so we got a little reset button. I'm going to move that. I'm going to keep that in for now, and I'll put it on action 3 because that might be useful. Okay. Action primary. This will be boots. Boots. Action 2, this will be bums. A silly comment. Okay, so those are stubbed out. And now for our warp tiles on ready, we should do add to group, warp, add to group, warp kind. And we'll return the result here just so we can use it. Add to group, stir, warp. Result 1. 1 is the distance. Okay, because this will be the group that we actually use for when you get the unlock, converting all the warp doors into something else. Okay, so we also need to add some logic here. If if global dot unlocks dot door 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Result 1 equals 1 and two, 3, 2, 3. And we also need to do this. So this will be -1. And that should make it so that the red doors. Okay, we're getting errors there again. Do this. All right, so this should just put us in that wall. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so those are right. Let's check the blue one. So that means these rooms are going to be a little messed up right now, but that's fine. We'll worry about that later. And then if should reveal, do this, else, whoops. Man, really can't type today. It's bad. Preload, and we got to go look for a sprite. So, maybe one of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then halfway through 7. Okay. Really don't care. Oh, actually, since I'm using these, there we go, 430. Okay. Unrevealed texture. White. All right, so all of those should be hidden now. Okay, but they still work, so we also want to slap a static body 2D, the collision shape of a rectangle whose extents are 12 by 12. And we only want this to be active if so let's see, we'll do dot disabled equals should reveal. Cool. So the player just is left wondering what all these things are until they get the upgrade. Okay. Great. So we got that. Fixed all of this WarpTile stuff. So now let's create a new scene for a pickup. And it made it an area 2D because that's what I had selected last time, which is fine. We will make it a circle collider, radius of 12. We'll do slightly more, And then we will attach a script. And this guy will need a sprite. 1 second, I gotta let my cat in. Cool. All right. So this will be a sprite, and we're going to also have a kind here again. Door 1, door 2, door 3. Bomb boots creature phasing. Bomb boots creature phasing. Coin heart. Heart piece. Yeah, I don't know if we'll have all this other stuff. So those var kind string. Cool. Ready. It's going to be similar to the other one if I'll have to look this up after the jam, but I think there's probably a better way to do this than having this run like every frame in the editor. But it's probably like have an on-changed value for when this enum is changed or something like that, then trigger setup sprite. But we going quick. So match kind. If door 1. Oh, no if. We'll pass for now, and I gotta go find sprites. Okay, so this guy is gonna be items. Okay. Gosh, I haven't looked at these at all. Let's hope that they have some sprites for us to use. So I can good grief, I can close that. Won't need that ever again, hopefully. Let's go to the scene. Slap items in here. Items transparent. And what is our texture size? This is going to be a 384 by 304. All right. And it looks like annoyingly something isn't quite right here. Oh, these are 16 by 16s, aren't they? Let's go look. Yeah, okay. So that would be 384, 16, 308, 304, 16. Just bump this up to 30. Okay. And then we will scale this up so they big. That will be good. And cool. Now we want on this area, we want a body entered. If body is player. So first we will do if global.unlocks. I gotta look at the dictionary reference. Good grief. Okay. Kind. Do we need to do anything else? Probably play a sound would be nice. Just try that for now, and we will say unlocked kind. Ooh, we'll use our signal bus for the first time. Okay. Collected kind and unlock granted kind. Go back to our pickup and we will do emit signal. Wait, signal bus dot emit signal. Pickup collected kind. Wow. And what is this? Unlock granted. Let me just double check my wording. Collected, unlock granted, typos, no. Okay. Cool. And this gets emitted up here. Actually, we'll do it right here. Okay, now we are ready to test. Okay, we need to do sprites. All right. Normally I have this handy frame picker utility, but I broke it and I haven't fixed it yet. And so I need to get that thing fixed because it makes it a lot easier because I can just load this atlas and then mouse over a thing and it'll tell me the frame, the specific frame it needs to be. So I think we're going to do these maps for the door pickup. And so those maps are going to be like 24 times 3. Let's go back. Okay, we're going to use the white one and we're just going to modulate it. Okay. Sprite2d.frame equals 73. 2d.modulate equals color.red. This will be dot blue, some other blue. What kind of blue? Maybe, yeah, royal blue. And this will be green. Web green, perfect. Okay. And then we need bomb. Boots, creature phasing, heart piece, coin. All right. Bomb will be, please have a bomb. Oh my God. I don't see a bomb. Well, it could be this one or this one. I think we'll go with that one. Right, none of those. Well, we could do this red sphere. That probably is good. Oh, let's grab heart while we're here. This will be 115. 116, 17. Okay. 123 for the bomb. 115 for a heart piece. Is there another kind of heart there? We'll do the half one. Here's what we'll do. We'll do scale equals smaller heart. And then this one with the half heart will be the heart piece. Okay. And then we need boots. So we do have some boots, and I think these ones are good. They have a little wing on them. So that's going to be frame. Go down from the back. Bunch of superfluous frames. Okay, 346. And then creature phasing. What in the world would would creature phasing even look like? Maybe this one. Could be a ring of creature phasing. We'll do this. Oh, that's black. This one, 290. What are we missing? Coin. That should be easy, right? Better have a coin. Maybe we'll use those. Any of these coin-like? Oh, here we go. Here's some coins. Cool. So that's going to be 24 times 3. Go up from there. So maps. Next row. Here's coins. Do 103, the bronze coin. All right. All of these look correct. So now we can place some into our world. All right. So drag a pickup in. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. We will do pickup equals coin by default. And let's see if our tool works. Oh, I don't think I marked this one as tool. There we go. Interesting. Oop. Let's check our output here. Oh, signal bus is failing. Interesting. We better add that guy. Probably a good time to reload. All right, our pickup creature phasing, cool. Let's reset our modulate and our scale. So noticing those were changing. Creature phasing, coin, heart, heart piece. Cool. All right. Now we'll move it. Move this one up here. Do that. Do some coins. Do a couple heart pieces. All right. We're not going to make every single one of these work right now, but we're just going to put the logic in the pickup. It's fine. Coin. Okay, we got to open our camera 2D again. Oh, it's not going to be our camera. It's going to be our world, which doesn't have a script. Is it our world? No, it's going to be this one. Add new script here. Signal bus dot connect collected. Granted. Okay, what we're doing now is we're configuring the UI. So this will be, oh, gross. Okay. We just got to do it raw, which is terrible. There's a way to do like array string builder, but they changed something in Godot 4, and I don't remember what to do. So coins. So this should say hearts. Is it string.join? Array.join? Join. Good Lord. Okay, that's disgusting. but hopefully it works. Cool. Okay. I was kind of worried about that. See, what are the dictionary methods? Has key. Okay. Makes sense. Global.unlocks.has kind and cool. Several things are working. We just need to check here if unlocks key false, continue. No unlocks. It's not doing the comma for whatever reason. Oh, because it's never set to false. Very cool. Nice. So we got some UI. Do a commit here. Group. All right. Now we're going to attach a script here. We are going to copy paste. Match kind if, let's see, door 1. Get nodes in group, warp 1. Warp 1, yeah. Tile and tiles. Global.unlocks door. So we should just be able to do tile.setupSprite. Let's see if that works or not. I think it did work. Crazy. Let me look again. Since they weren't on the screen to begin with. Can't walk in it. Still can't walk in it. Okay, so something is wrong with the... let me read what disabled means on this actually. Set deferred. Oh my God, that's amazing that that works. Okay, we're in very good shape. Cool. Just do a quick commit there. All right, now we are ready to do our BombTiles. So we'll do a new scene. BombTile. This will be a change type, static body, collision shape, rectangle, 12 by 12, sprite, and oh, here we go again. Now, I think for simplicity, we're just going to do one kind of bomb tile, and I like this one. It's brown, ugly. Cool. 174 and 175. Okay. We'll give it a destroy method, and this is going to be listening for player. Let's see, it's going to be on the player proj layer. All right, and then we will need the bomb projectile scene. This will be an area 2D, collision shape, sprite 2D. Collision shape can be a little circle. This will not be very large. 5, okay. And for our little bomb, I think we'll do that. So we're going to do items, and then this was 3d4 divided by 16, and 304 divided by 16 as well. Frame 80. That's here. Want to go up a little, 120. So the hearts, so it's on this next row. Here we go. And we're just going to make our scale really small on this guy. Okay, that's ridiculously small. Cool. Ooh, we actually need to make this a character body 2D, I think. See what he looks like in the editor. Spinning up there in the corner. Cool. All right. Now in the player class, we can get a reference to this scene. Let's see. BombProj scene equals preload. That guy. And then we will do, if we push the bombs button, if global.unlocks bomb true. Instantiate proj dot we'll move this up to the top of the function. Want that input dir. Man, is that just going to work? Not quite. Okay. Let's check our timer. We're getting close. 13 minutes left on this segment. Get parent, add child. Proj, yeah, of course, we got to add it to the scene. Knew I was missing a step. Created bomb. Okay. We got to set the position. Equal our global position. It is pushing us because it is on our collision layer. That is very funny. So we will go here. It does not need to be on our collision layer. It needs to be on this. And it can search for walls and chasms and enemies. Cool. Okay. Our speed is not right at all. Let's see why. Our velocity, I should say. Delta, speed, initial dir. Oh, you got to call move and slide. Or move and collide. Move and slide. Whoops, stop it. Still feels like it is scanning or something for... Yeah, I don't think it needs to be on a collision layer at all. It just needs to scan for them. Am I crazy right now? Let me check our player. Oh, I tried to run the player scene by default, or without all the rest of the stuff. Super weird. Don't know what that was. Let's look again. We can no longer touch the pickup. Okay. That means pickup is scanning on the wrong layer. It needs to be scanning for 3. We need to remember our last movement direction. We will do it in movement locked if dir dot and then this should use because basically when I was standing still, it was firing them with no velocity. Very cool. Okay, so we've got some bombs getting created. Now they got to hit walls and detonate. Okay. So feeling crazy right now. Not seeing the events that I want to connect to. All right, I think we're duplicating some work here, but that's okay. So we need an area 2D that's actually going to scan for walls and chasms, not chasms, and enemies. And then this, sorry, this doesn't need chasms, doesn't need player proj. It's scanning for walls and enemies only. I just want to make sure those two are the same. Same radius, and then on here we will do let's crank this one down to 3 pixels. I think this is not even necessary anymore. I mean, it is because we need to move and collide, but I should have made this all area 2D in the first place, I think, and just moved it programmatically without using velocity and move and slide. Okay, so we will do body entered, and we will do area entered, and I just want to print what body is. Prints area. Okay. Boop. Body, wall. Perfect. Cool. All right. Now let's get our bomb wall tile here. We will add a dummy one right here. Just add a couple. And let's check that scene actually, because I bet this is the wrong collision layers. Player proj. Okay, might be fine. Cool, BombTile. All right, so last thing here, we'll give this a name, BombTile. Go back to our proj. If body is BombTile, body.destroy. We should have our pathetic bombs set up. and cube free ourselves. Cube redraw drives me nuts on this version of Godot because it takes alphabetic priority or something. Well, it doesn't even. Redraw is after free, but perfect. Look at that. We got some bombs blowing up. Working bombs. All right, what do we got? 4 minutes. Let's close these. Probably close that. We'll go back to our player. We got to add another sprite. So this sprite is going to be, I think the shadows are down here, yeah. Let's take a look at our creatures. It's going to be way down there. Okay, so that's going to be like nearly the last frames. Let's name this shadow. 539. Let's make sure. Okay, 461 and 62 will be the sprites that we'll use, sprite indices. We want this to appear behind this other one. And visible not by default. So 462, 461. Shadow frames equal 462, 461. And when we do jumping, what do we need to do here? Let's go read. Power boots. So we're going to lerp the player sprite up and down. So we're going to do is jumping equals false. Jump ac equals 0. True. And not is jumping. We don't want to be able to override our jumping, our direction while we're jumping. So jump ac. We'll start this off with 200 milliseconds to see how it looks. So we're going to need to do shadow dot visible equals true, shadow dot frame equals shadow frame 0. And sprite 2D dot y. Let's see. Position dot y. Oh, we got to go read tween. Get tree, create tween. Okay. Get tree. I need to really memorize this stuff because tween property on sprite 2D. Final position will be vector 2, 0, negative 24, and All right. Start our 5-minute timer, and we will have to wind down on this second hour. We are functionally doing pretty good, I think. Let's see. Chain. Magic keyword. Chained method. Most of the tween can be chained. All right, we might have to do some tween dot. Tween back to 0. Going to be jump back again. Tween dot play. Let me just briefly read this. Used to chain multiple tweeners after tween is true. Okay. All right, let's just see what this does right off the jump. Okay, we need to do jump back, delta, jump back, 0 is jumping equals false. Oh my God. It works. Set parallel, true. And then we will do this. No, I think, okay, we don't want to do the collision. If is jumping. Dir equals last moving dir. Holy moly. That mostly works good. Okay. So I think we're going to crank this up to 0.3 and divide these by 2. And the speed is going to be let's do 120 and see what that gets us in terms of movement. Oh, I did the wrong speed. Okay, so it's got to be a little higher. I don't know. There's some magic number here. 160 will probably be good. Yeah, that looks like it's moving 2 tiles each. Cool. All right. That will be our second hour. And when we come back, we'll have to do quite a few things. We'll have to get the jumping over the chasm set up. So we'll have to toggle off the collision layer for the chasm while we're in the air, and then toggle it back on. And then we'll actually have to paint some chasms. We'll have to create the chasm tile in the first place, and then paint some on the map, and then try jumping over them as well as falling into them, resetting our position back to our, what is it called? Room starting position whenever we fall into a chasm. And then for the jump, we can do the auto daisy chaining of jumps. So where it just does this, and you just got to wait for it to complete. And if you fall into a chasm, then that sucks. Yeah, we got some layering issues there. We probably won't fix those. But yeah, that'll do it for hour number 2. All right, and we are back for hour number 3, and there is a lot of stuff that we got to take care of. So we've got to finish adding the auto jumping mechanism so that we jump until we collide with something and then stop jumping. We got to add the chasm tiles to the ground, and when we fall in them, we warp back to the starting position in the room and like blink ourselves for a second or two. I'll probably save that till later. We'll say stretch on that. We also have the ooze tiles, and this is key for gating sections of the dungeon, but I'm going to do this kind of like last, because if we have to cut something, we can cut this. I think it'll still be a fine dungeon adventure without this, and I can replace those barricades with bomb blocks or something similar instead. And then we have to do the UI specifically. When you pick up an item, it tells you what the item is and what the item does. That would just be very helpful. Otherwise, you're not really going to know what these things are, especially since some of the appearances are a little esoteric. Like, what does the cloak do? Like, it's not obviously clear what it does. So that would pretty much finish things out. If I can, we'll sneak in turning on those audio tracks. That should be easy, because I can just throw an audio stream player in both the menu and the gameplay scenes and kind of just let it autoplay. Yeah, and then I think almost assuredly all of these get cut due to time, but I think that we can do this. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned, but we got to also build a 25-room dungeon, which is the bread and butter of the whole thing. So we should have almost everything ready to go, and let's go ahead and start our timer and get into it. All right. So we're going to do is auto jumping equals false, and if we start jumping, we do is auto jumping, okay, equals true, and then that jump ack, let's see, so if is jumping auto jumping, or, so if we stop jumping, jump gets set to false, and so we want to lock out movement on auto jumping instead. So jumping is going to be used for just an individual jump, and then auto jumping is going to be used for the succession of multiple jumps. So let's see, that might just work as is. Okay, very silly. Okay, and now we need to, if we collide into a wall, do something with that. All right, let's take a look at our, Okay, I had to cut the video and I lost like 40 seconds, so oh well. Okay, now we need to determine if we're colliding into walls, and maybe there is a faster way to do this, but I'm just going to do the simplest freaking thing. So I had here make the collider slightly larger. We'll pop this up to 9, and we will make this 10. Oh, already set. And then this will be wanting to collide only with walls, and get a signal for that. Body or area? I don't know. We'll just have to try several things here. Okay. Prints, body. Oh my God. Prints, body shape, body. And let's see what this fires. So we did get body. Let's try jumping into the wall. Boots. We can get rid of that. We'll throw it in there. Okay, so we probably don't need this. And we will disconnect. Yep. Body is, oh, what type is body? We'll do a little breakpoint. Bonk. Body is a TileMap layer or something. Body is TileMap layer. Oh, we need to store a jump tween. Jump tween. What is the type of this? Tween equals tween. Jump tween dot stop. And we will set our sprite to d dot position dot y equals to 0. That'll kind of be ghetto, but whatever, we going fast. And I think just that will be enough. So let's see if that stops our auto jumping. Mostly does. We'll start the next jump. Okay, so let's turn auto jump. Is false. Is jumping equals false. Jump ac equals 0. Try that. Boom. Okay. Perfect. All right, let's do a ChasmTile. ChasmTile. This will be a static body, collision shape. Actually, this can be an area 2D with collision shape. We will make this a rectangle, and we want it to be not too large, because we kind of want to make sure the player doesn't like accidentally step into it. And I think the ChasmTiles will just be these water tiles. Originally they were going to be those black tiles. That collision shape might be just a hair too small, so let's bump it up 9 by 9. Okay. And then as for layers, this will be on, it will be scanning on the player layer, and it will be on the chasm layer, and then body entered. Oh, we gotta get a script. Just check my OBS. Oh shit. Okay. We've been recording for 5 minutes, so I need to... And I don't know how to... Okay, so I need to take 5 minutes off this timer, so I guess I'll just set this to 47 and reset and go. Whoops. Okay. Let's see. What was I doing? If body is player, body.fallen pit. Okay. And on the player, when we are is jumping true, and we'll actually just do this up here. If actually we're going to do, what is it? It's, look at our player. We want this collision shape. Okay, so the character body itself, we want to set the mask to be looking at in chasm. So I want to look at character body 2D. None of those. So it's going to be up, maybe physics body, maybe collision object, set collision mask value. And that signature is the layer number, which is 2, and the value. Okay. Go back to our player script. Set collision mask value 2 equals is jumping. That should be good. Not is jumping, because when we are jumping, we are not colliding with the floor. Okay. So let's go to our world, and we've got some chasm tiles. Make a nice unavoidable pit there, and then we'll make like a nice avoidable one over here. And we will make one of these put us into the drink, because we will auto jump into it. All right, let's see. We should log, and we also have to have the fall in pit method. So fall in pit. Let me just check that ChasmTile script. Body fallen pit. Okay. We'll add a method stop jumping. Put all this stuff in there. Stop jumping. Make sure we stop jumping. Global position equals starting room starting position. And we will leave it like that. I can do some tweeny stuff later if we have time. All right, let's see what happens. Whew. Bonk. If jump tween. Probably movement lockout for a minute too. Oh no. Or body is, what are those called? BombTile. Okay. Aha. I think this is the problem. We want to put him on layer 2. We'll change this to layer value 2. We'll see what that does. It's kind of a hacky solution for a bug here, but when we jump in place, interesting. We'll let that ride for a minute, but we'll have to make a note of that. If player jumps in place next to a wall, it's jumping. We don't need that anymore. All right, so we got our ChasmTiles. Let's do a commit. And now we got to go build us a world, and we got to do it real quick. Okay, so we will grab the, all right, I got to do something with the editor settings real quick. Grid, tiles editor, this is way too bright. Crank that down. Crank this up just a hair. That'll make the grid lines stand out a little bit more against the tile lines. All right, now we need to box select, erase, whoops. Erase all this. We'll keep all this junk here for now, and we will go down here, and we will start over here. I'm going to pause for a minute. I left my notes in the other room, so I'm going to grab those. All right, we got those notes. So we will unpause, and I need to get a few different colors here. So we're going to do let's see, we want to do drawing. We're going to do a green, whoops, green square. We're going to do a viney square. We will do one of these guys. One of these guys. This. And this one, I think. That will round it out. All right, now I got to do selections. So this. All right, now we will once again erase all this and let us block out our rooms. So first off, up here, we will paint some green rooms. Then we will paint some viney green rooms over here. You know what, I'm going to make that a viney green one too. And then we're going to have some dark blues. I probably should have put the floor tiles on these as well, but that's okay. I mean, I guess I got to do them in a separate layer anyways, so I would have to paint over there. All right, now we need browns. And finally, our blues. I think if we can pull this off visually, it'll look nice. It'll look aesthetically pleasing. All right, so this right here will be our starting room, and we're going to need to clear a spot for a green warp tile. So get a warp tile over here. Oh yeah, those should be, let's see if those should be visible in the editor. Otherwise, it's going to be really annoying. So this is going to be an up 3. And we will take that and move it up to here and make that a down 3. We got to clear that wall. All right, so let's go here and block out our walls. So we're going to have a passage there to here. And we're going to have a passage here to here. And we're going to have another passage, let's see, from here to here. We'll have a passage there, a passage there, and there. All right, so let's add all those ones. So all these guys can go away. Whoops, we deleted one of them. Oh well. All right, so this is going to be the down 3. Clone this. This is going to be a left 3. Clone this. It would have been really nice if I had just made this node be a pair of nodes by default, because these are all going to be double directional. So this is going to be a right 2 and a left 2 and another right 2. But yeah, the pairs would probably save time, but I don't know if the time would outweigh, you know, how much time it would take to develop. We'll dupe those, stick them over here. All right, while we're doing that, let's select our tile and let's find all of our, let's see, we're going to do red doors. So red vertical doors. So we got this one, this one. We're going to do another one over here. We're going to do one way over here and there, here. Let's see. This is not a vertical door, but it's a horizontal one. Cool. All right. Now we can grab a pair, duplicate those. Oh, that's Godot is not nearly as good as an editor like Tiled, I think. Tiled is just, I mean, it's hard to beat when you want something that's like easy to use. This is going to be a right one, a left one. Clone these guys, drag them way up here. All right. So those are the easy ones. The red ones are easy. And then I guess we should probably do one more up here. And that'll be an up one. And then we'll delete that wall. All right. Now we should do all the 2s that are left, right. So we're going to have another one down here. We'll have one over here. We'll have one down here. And here. We will have one on the far left side of these rooms. And I think here, oops, was I going too far there? See, that would be from here to there. Let's just make sure that these are all, yeah, they're all correctly paired. Cool. Got that one. We'll need one here. That's the middle. Cool. All right, let's start doing these guys. What in the world is my editor keys doing? Here we go. All right. Since these can be left and right pairs, we will do, this is a left 2, and this guy is a right 2. We will select both of those and move them up here. Move them down here. Another pair over here. That's all of our horizontals. So we'll grab these, and this will be a down 2, and an up 2. Clone. There. I think that's all for those. I think I missed one over here. We'll need a passageway from this room up to this room. And we'll need to grab another pair of these guys. Slot them into position. Cool. What else do we have to do for connecting these rooms together? All right, we're going to need to get some chasms in here. All right, so let's start at the beginning. One of these pickups is a door 3, which is perfect because we need that in the starting room. So we will slap a door 3 up here, and we will go back to the wall. Got to delete some more here. We need this to go way over to here. This is a dead-end room, kind of on purpose. Grab these guys, move move them into position. So this will be a left 3. This one will be a right 3. All right, time to add some interest to this thing. Well, dang, I just realized that I had paused the video at some point around 26 minutes into the hour, and I just unpaused it now as we're wrapping up, which is really unfortunate because I was building a lot of the dungeon. But I'll just kind of go over what I did here at the end. I'm super duper bummed that I did not record all of that because this is probably the most interesting looking part of the whole process is building out the dungeon. But we built through the rest of the dungeon. We added the boots unlock. We've got the bomb unlock up here. We've got a bunch of coins kind of sprinkled. I also added at the very end, we've got our music in. And we've got the little blink animation when we fall into the water. And it locks our movement out for a second there. We also added this label that shows you the thing that you just got and what it does. And we also made the main menu correct. So I'll actually switch this back to the main menu. And we got a stupid screenshot of the game on the main menu here. It's kind of ugly, but whatever. We got some music now as well. And I think that start button goes to the wrong scene. So I'll bug fix that real fast. Gameplay scene, settings scene. Gameplay scene should be CRT. All right, well, there we go. That's it. I'm going to commit this. Game Jam final version. Push it up. And I will do a web export. God, looks like we got to download the the things. I see I have the old ones installed. Download and install these real quick. 1.12 gigs real quick. Well, it's coming along. Yeah, so we also cut the ooze tiles completely. I basically turned what was going to be ooze tiles into bomb tiles, which gets rid of some of the progression because there was like another gnarly loop that you kind of had to take through the dungeon to find the ooze, the friendly creature phasing power up, and then use that to go through the oozes and stuff. And that also gets rid of a little kind of speedrunny thing that I wanted to have, which was you can touch the oozes in different rooms to get that move speed buff and cruise through faster as a result. Okay, so we got our export templates, and we will do an export. Exports to web. Wow, it is exporting a lot of things that it does not need to export. I wonder if that'll make our file size grotesque. Let's take a look. 60 megabytes. Yikes. We'll cut a lot of that stuff out real quick. So all the sliced stuff, we don't need any of these, do we? Don't need this. Don't need these. Don't need any of this stuff. don't think we had time for FX. Most of these we don't need, but my God, I don't know which ones we do. Let's see, how much is this? 3 megs. That'll be fine. All right, do we have any other clunky junk in the assets? Probably don't need any of that stuff. Those are all pretty small. All right, let's try that export again. It's still pretty large, 50 megs, but what can you do? All right, so this will be web v 1.0 AMGM final. Zip it up, head over to itch, upload. Can I just drag it in, please? Ugh, okay. Got to remember how to do the the web setup. Let me go look at my other games. Propulsion Protocol. Hide this file, prevent it from being downloaded. This file will be played in the browser. Upload a zip file containing your game. Ah, HTML. This file will be played in the browser. That's the one. Save it. And viewport dimensions, what did we set our project dimensions to? Might as well just make it the same, 816 by 528. 816, 528. View that page again. Loading game for the first time. It's going to unzip that bad boy. Well, that looks functional, man. Is there a horizontal break here? Doesn't look like it. What else did we cut? Anything cool? All right. Well, about to link the game jam result in the chat here. I think I might try to take a little bit better screenshot because that is pretty sad. What's a cool looking room? All right, we'll pop that open in an editor. I've completely forgotten what I have installed. That's huge. Paint.net is the worst software. I'm going to do it in a new layer. All right. Can I do any post-processing to these? Not really. What a hideous emboss. Why is this red? Like, what on here says red to you? Crazy. Move it up so we could see our guy. All right. That is slightly less ugly. Put that over here, and we will upload it to the page. Replace it with... Whoops. Got to save it as a PNG. All right, there we go. That'll wrap it up. See you guys soon.